Hello everyone and welcome back to the techystack channel. So in this last tutorial we can see this how we can build this logic, how this is thing extracted data from the PDF. Who are coming directly to this video, just go and watch this part 1 of this, so then only you will get understand. Okay, now we get to know how we can extract the data table from the PDF with the help of Python. So I'm just running this and we are getting this output as well. So now the next part is how we can integrate this code with this Uipath. That's the one thing next part we need to do. So for that, what we need to just go to this Python. Sorry, just go back to this Uipath Studio and go to the designs. Of the first step is which we need to know. We need this packages. So which we call Python packages are there. So just we can check this Python uipath.python.activities. So this is a one package we need to install. Then only we are able to work on the Python um, invoking that things. Okay, now just go here and just type this Python. Okay, once you type this Python, the first thing is we need to use this scope. So just drag in this scope. So once you drag in this scope, go to this properties. So just put like this. So go to this properties. Under this properties, we have these four fields are which is mandatory things. So one is a library path, another one is the path, and next target, and the final one is a version. So we these all the depends upon you. So for example, when you see the path will be dynamic. So you need to update that path, and the target either 62 or 34-bit. So sorry, 32-bit or 64-bit, we need to identify that. And the version, so what type of version you are using this Python. The first, how we can identify this path. So for that we can just go to environment variables. So once you go this environment system properties environment setup, click on this environmental variables. After this you can go here the path. So from this here you can this path, this is things for when you are installing this Python, sometimes it automatically it will set up. So that's why I'm directly going here. If it is not, you need to set up the things. Okay, the certain things you can check from other videos, or I will try to put. So right now this is my path. Just copy this path and rest of the things not required. Just close this and go to here and just enter this. So once you enter this, we can see this DLL file as well. So we need DLL file. Just copy this DLL file and go back to the studio and update into the library path Unix or version greater than 3.9. Okay, just update this one. Okay, after this we need to add one more path. The downside, you can see this downside path. So just update this path here. Okay, now these two things are done. Okay, now what I will do now, I will just remove this and I will run. What type of error it will come, we can just have a look at it. So when I try to run, it will throw some error, some kind of error. I will show that error. Later, we'll update these things. So now we can see this Python scope value cannot be null parameter or the path. So here these two things. So just this considered the parameter and this considered the path. So like that. So that's why we need to update these two things. Just update this. And next, my version is greater than 3.10. Right now, I'm using this 11th version. So that's why we need to update. So once it is done, we can able to see this error. So 86 is won't support, 64-bit is with support for the greater than 10 versions. So now I hope you got clear how we can rectify this based on your system configuration. We need to update these things. Okay, now this is done. So the next step is what we need to do. First of all, we need to load that script. So for load the script, so what we are doing, we need to just take this load Python script. Okay, once you open that, so we need path. So this is my path. So already I copied and pasted notepad. Okay, so just go to here. So we can see this file path. Okay, just go inside and update this file path. That's it. Okay, I have declared some variables. I will go and check this. Okay, so here I need to store this output of this instance. I'm storing this as a py load. So already I declared the variables. I'm using the same load, py load. So this is done. After this, what we need to, we need to load that method. I mean invoke that method. So first of all, you load this script. So under that script, we have this some functions are there. When I go and check back this Python code, where is this? So this is a Python code. So when you check here, I have this some parameter. Sorry, I have this some functions are there. So when you check here, main function. So for example, if you are using some other function, we need to add that name to there. So now we can add this one and we can see how it will works. So just copy this main function. Okay, just invoke Python method, and we can go to these properties and we can see this. So instance, input parameters, names, output. So we'll go one by one. First of all, instance. So this instance is nothing but as a load py script. So just go this, add this one, py load. So add this py load as a my instance. So py load. And here we can see this name. So the name is nothing but as the which function you want to call. So as of now, my function is main. So this is a main function right now. And you can see this input parameters. If you have the parameters, you need to pass this in flower basis like this. So just I'm pausing the empty as of now, just let it be. Okay, after this, if you want, you don't want right now, you can remove this. I will show that why this parameters is required. Okay, after this result, so this result I'm storing into the on mode parameter, which we call py result. I'm just showing this py result. Okay, now this step is done. Okay, now we'll come to this parameter. So why we are passing this input parameters, because when you are running this function it returns the values. So that return value where we want to store, we don't know exactly where you are storing. So if you give that input parameter, it's give this output parameters. So like that it will works vice versa. So that's why here input parameter is required. Now we'll first of all we'll go without input parameter, how it will come, we'll see. And the next step is the final step, we need to run get py object. So just drag and drop this py object. So under this py object we can see some input thing. So python object, this python object is nothing but as a invoke python method instant result. Okay, just take that py result, and this output I'm storing into the final output. Just I'm updating this final output. Okay, I hope you got clear picture on this. And I'm giving this argument as object. Just I'm storing in the object. It's fine. No worries for me. Okay, now this is fine. So now everything has been set up, and I'm just running this automation. We'll see what it will throw the error, or it will give the result. If it is giving the result, then fine. If it's throwing that error, we need to rectify what type of error we are getting here. So just we'll run this automation one by one. So we can see this Python has been loaded, and we can see this invoke method and py results. So when you check this here, we got this some error py conversion of the object. So why it's occurring means, when I go to my code, so I said main. I given that main, but I'm not returning any values from this here. So just I declare the definition, but I'm not returning any values. I think I'm not able to zoom this. I will open one more window. So let me open in coding files, PDF extraction. Open with, yeah, fine. So just for understanding purpose, I will just a little bit zoom it, and we'll check this one. Wait, it's loading. Okay. Okay, when you check here, I declared this function, but I'm not returning any values from here. When you check here, def main, I declared that function, but I'm not giving any return values. So function anyway, it will give this return the value. So for that purpose, what I will do now, I will come here and declare one variable, sorry, declaring output function, return final output. Okay, so now when I run, it will throw the error. Okay, it's not throwing the error, it's fine. Okay, output is not defined. So now what I will do now, I will go here and declare one variable which called final output equals to empty. Final output equals to empty. Okay, now I declared, just I will run whether it will throw the error. So there is no errors. So I declare this return output as well. Okay, now we'll go to studio and we'll run that. So whether it will run or not, again it will throw the error, we need to check. So I'm running step by step. So the first step, everything is done, and we can see the py, it's returning. Now we'll check final output. So when you check here, final output is returning as a blank, but it's working fine. So why it returning the value as a blank? Because we not pass any parameters to inside of this inside to the code. So now what I will do now, I will just pass some parameter. So just we can make it as whatever it may be. You can give q, a, z, anything is fine. Right now this parameter is not required to that. Okay, just save this. Okay, now this is done. When I will go here, it's having some parameter, no? So just I will copy this and I will update here. Okay, once I update it here, I will do one small change. So just I will go here in for loop. So final output equals to, right now it is in dictionary. So when I check directly dictionary, we'll try this as well. So we'll try. So whether it will give this value or not. So when I run now, it will throw the error because this final output parameter coming from the UiPath. So now go to this and run this again, and we'll check. Now if it is giving this value, then fine. If it is not giving the value, then we need to check what is the issue here. So right now I selected as object. So in object, what type of data it should be stored. Now when I check, it's throw the error here only. So one or more error occurred. So let me run one more time. So I run that straight away. So under this main, we got this. So invoke error method, error invoking Python method. Okay. So here invoking method is wrong. Just I will stop this automation and I will change here value. This is fine. Whatever it may be, I can just pass the data, whatever it may be. So there is no, don't use like that. There is no like that. I found one thing. I have not declared the function here. So when you check, it's having the some empty. So just I'm updating here as well. So once it's done, I will just saving this automation and back to this studio and running this again one more time. So here we need to understand why the parameters are very important and what of the things we need to segregate before running this Python script. So now it got run because previous it throw that error one or more arguments is missing like that. So now we can see this, it's got run and I'm checking this final output and okay, final output, it's blank. Basically, it should give the result. Okay, final output. Okay, so here I given this final output, but I'm not storing any value. So I will give here key plus, or else you can do one thing. Final output, for example, just I will give this tables. So in this tables only I'm getting the storing the data now. So just I will run this, what it will give this in the format of keys and dictionaries or not, we'll check. So last time I tried, so I got some error, so I tried in different solution, that is working fine. Now we'll check it will give this output or not. Okay, now when you check, this is having some formatting issue. So when you say this object is any kind of things, or else if you want, I will try with the dictionaries and keys as well. Let me try this with dictionaries, and under this dictionaries I taken both as the objects. So now let me run this. This also it will throw the error I check. So anyway, I will try one. I mean I will check one more time. Okay, just I'm running this. Okay, okay, still it's having that's error. It's a kind of converting Python object error, converting Python object. So whatever we are getting the data now, it's converting to something. That point, it's throwing that error. So to avoid this error, what I did now, so just come here and remove this data. I will take these two values. So in this values only, I'm storing this data now. So just keys plus values, after this plus final output. So in this final output only my output is storing now. Just update this one and save this. Go back to studio and run this, it will work. So now what I did, I just converted enter into the one string, that's it. Okay, still it's getting error. So basically it should work. I tried. Okay, I not change. So this should be the day object. So let me, so I change this to object. So now running, and we can see this py result, and the final output we can see this data. So whatever the data we are getting from there, now the entire the same data we are processing with the help of UiPath and getting the output in, sorry for that, processing the PDF from the Python and getting the output in UiPath. So this is the way how we can integrated Python code with UiPath. So still I hope you understand. The main thing is you need to understand the Python scope, why we are loading the script, invoking and getting these objects. So basically you need to understand these things, then you will get clear picture on the how we can integrate and how we can pass as parameters input and output. So what is the importance of this passing the parameters, you will get to know. So try to practice from your end, then only you will get. So if you not practice, basically it's time, I mean will forget. So try to practice more and more, you will get. And still, if you have any doubts, post in the comment section. And going further, we'll try to do more videos on Python things. And so right now, what we did now, so here we pass this thing. For example, right now we pass this here q. So next video, I will pass this file names. I will pass this file names and how we can use this file names inside of the Python code. We'll check that as well. So still, if you have any doubts, post in the comment section. We'll try to help you.